It's been a while since I have recorded one of these videos with pants on. What I mean by that is I've been wearing short pants, been wearing shorts for the past several months, and I'll tell you, it's fantastic. But the pants will be coming on soon as we approach the end of September. But anyhow, what I wanted to talk to you about today is something that is pretty near and dear to me when it comes to accountability and taking responsibility of the things that we do. Specifically, taking responsibility of our poor choices or the not so good choices. You know, it's easy to take accountability in things that are good and things that we've done well. When I graduated college in 1994, I entered the life insurance business, and a number of people said to me, why would you want to do something like that? You know, specifically because it was 100% commission. There was no paycheck. So selling life insurance at 22 years old was, needless to say, a big challenge for me. But I managed. And other people would say, well, geez, insurance, it's just so boring. And I didn't know any better. I thought they were right. Until my first day on the job in the office. A call comes into the office. A guy asks if his dog has coverage on his homeowner's insurance. And she's like, what exactly do you mean by that? He's like, well, if my dog were to kill another dog, and she said, yeah, I can look up the coverage stipulations and stuff, but you know, what exactly are you getting at? Well, what transpired there was our client lived, I don't want to say deep in the woods, but he lived in a very wooded area, several acres. He could barely see his neighbor. And his neighbor had like this white, fluffy dog. And our insured had this bull mastiff that was like close to 200 pounds and was just full of energy. And there was an encounter at one point with the fluffy dog, and they kept things apart, and it was easy to do because there was so much land between the two homes. Well, it turns out the big bull mastiff was out, you know, checking things out and everything, and he came back to the house covered, absolutely covered in mud head to toe, and he had something that was just limp and floppy in his mouth, but also covered in mud. And our insurer didn't know what this floppy thing was. It looked like a beaver, for crying out loud, but he had no idea. So he got the hose out and washed down the dog, and then washed down this thing that was in the dog's mouth. And it turns out it was the white, fluffy dog. So now our insured is panicking. He's like, oh my goodness, my dog killed the other dog. What am I going to do? So in his, I would say, lack of better choices, he chose to wash the dog up, clean it up, nice, and put it on the back deck of the guy's house. So when the guy comes home, he'll see that the dog's asleep on the porch, and geez, he's not waking up, must have died of a heart attack. Fair enough. Crazy as it may seem, there's a little bit of the backwoods maybe in him. A few days later, he did receive a phone call from that gentleman that owns the white fluffy dog. And he asked our insured, he's like, have you seen anything strange lately? He's like, no, not really. Why? What do you mean? He's like, because my dog is dead on the back deck. And the guy said, oh my goodness, our insured said, oh geez, I'm so sorry to hear that. He's like, well, that's really not the news. The crazy thing is, our dog died about 3 weeks ago, and we buried him in the backyard. And when we came home today, he was on our back deck all cleaned up like nothing even happened. So our insured had, hung up the phone and didn't know what to do, and that's when he called our office. Well, clearer heads prevailed, and our insured let the neighbor know that what transpired. And actually, the neighbor of the fluffy dog laughed. He thought it was kind of funny, and that developed a good relationship with the two of them. Could have gone the other way. It really could have. But folks, we got to understand there's accountability in everything that we do, whether good or bad. And the choices we make will then make us. You see, we make our choices, and then our choices make us. So depending on what we do or say, that's going to affect the way things are perceived and how they may play out. So I figured I'd share that, real story. Pretty humorous, if you ask me, and pretty clever as well. And he did come to his senses and admitted the truth. And I think that's what matters in the end, is the truth.